I just finished listening to actually your response to the Elizabeth breakdown. I thought it was brilliant. I actually think she's clueless and she lives in her own world, and for at least decades now, Web Du Bois has been speaking about the double consciousness that African Americans live in, and the fact that she has no clue and never heard of this is very, very disturbing. In fact, I'm very surprised that Whoopi Goldberg or none of the or any of the other respondents that I've heard so far to your video and other videos that I've heard thus far have mentioned this. This has been written about. This has been studied. This is a reality, and the fact that she completely chooses to live her life without acknowledging this suggests that she really is racist. And I think that she's racist because if you choose to disacknowledge a major element of another community and even tell others to not acknowledge it too, is really just to say you don't matter. What you're going through, that other consciousness, that other world that you live in doesn't matter and should cease to exist. And who does she think she is to think that she has the power to tell someone else that their world doesn't exist or a world that they live in doesn't exist? I think it's another I think either when you're confronted with it, okay, like you said earlier, there are some people that really just don't know, just don't have a clue. And then there are some people who know and choose not to exist in that reality or acknowledge that reality. Well, for someone who doesn't have a clue, okay, they're not racist, they just don't have a clue. And for those who are clued in though, and tell us, and for example, Elizabeth is one of those people now because she's clued in. She knows about it. We've discussed it with her. I'm not going to say we, but The View has brought to our attention that this exists. So the fact that she's telling people to disacknowledge their own existence, in my opinion, is racist in and of itself. So anyway, I love your Mulatto Diaries. I think that you're doing really great work, and this sort of communication is what will fuel the next generation of progressive people who won't have these issues. To that same effect though, I don't believe that we're better people, or even, and this is changing the subject a bit, better people or even more less inclined to do evil as the previous generation. So I just wonder what will replace this issue of racism. What will we find to replace it? Because I think that human beings are naturally inclined to do or have something dramatic, you know. So when racism and this sort of ignorance is no longer allowed, what will replace it? Anyway, just my 2 cents.